My girlfriend's so cute and tired. Hey, y'all. Josh was in the shower, in our shower. Huh? Josh was in our shower, because Serenity was in the shower. Hey. Y'all gonna keep seeing me do this quietly, because let me sleep. I'm on live, man. I'm on live. So, I was not informed that you have to activate going on live on YouTube before you can actually go on live. So, I just activated it, and it says it's going to take 24 hours for me to go live. So, I wouldn't even have been able to go live today anyways. So, here I am. I'm already following it, sis. I followed it the day you posted it. Yeah, so here I am live. So y'all can give me the feedback. So who watched part 2? Who watched part 2? And I'm not staying on here all night. It's not happening. If you watched part 2, what did you take from it? Part 3 is going to drop when I reach 2K followers on YouTube. Thank you guys for following. I am currently at 1,011 followers right now. So we need about, over 900 more followers for me to drop part 3. Yeah. So what I was gonna do on the live, on YouTube, was go over all this with y'all. But because I had issues with work, I didn't go over there. And like I said, I still can't. Hey guys. Yes, Victoria. I knew I was going to get y'all, because, let me tell you, me being the person that I am, there was reasons why I didn't, just jump out there with videos also. Was simply because I had to be ready to show y'all black and white. And the black and white is important. That way, it's one thing, you will be believing me based upon how you feel about me, right? Because y'all really don't know me. So you will be believing me just based upon the fact that y'all trust that I'm going to be spitting facts. Did you turn the water off, Poppy?
Yes.
Okay. The fact that y'all trust what I'm saying, and, that's cool and all. I don't trust somebody just because of how they look, or I don't trust somebody just because I feel like I want to trust them. It's more than that, right? So at the end of the day, I wanted you guys to also trust me by showing you all that I had the shit in black and white the whole entire time. I had it in black and white. I had it in black and white even when I first had talked to my mother. I had it in black and white. And I allowed her to tell me her story, her version, because it's important to listen to what somebody is saying. You listen and then you decide whether or not this is true or if it's not. So, even though I had those papers in black and white, I still wanted to hear what she was going to tell me, because that's also a character building, right? I also want to know your character. Even though I have the answers to all the questions that I'm finna ask you, right? I just want to see how you're going to treat me, especially when you've had more than one chance to like redeem yourself. So, if after 33 years, you had the chance to confront what you did and to now tell the truth, and you decide that you still don't want to hold yourself accountable, and the very thing that you're lying about is in front of you, that's a character. That shows me your character. This shows me where everything is going. Let me go to y'all comments, because I see them coming and I don't want to be rude and I don't want to ignore them. You have no idea how relatable your story is. My story is similar, so thank you for being transparent. You're very welcome.
Thank you.
That's my whole break. Is that the only time available? That's the only time available?
I'm asking.
They can't come in between 8 and... They can't come early to... I don't want to sit my 12 to 4 the whole break.
Right, don't worry. That's fine.
I believe that if she had been honest and owned up to how she handled things was... I believe so too. What I took from it, you may have been more receptive to your biological mother if she had been honest about the whole situation. The thing is that I was receptive from... Yeah, I agree. I see what you're saying with that. But I was receptive before I even got the honesty. I was willing to hear your story. Mind you, I'm saying that I have the black and white before I even approached her. So I was already receptive to hear what she had to say, and I wasn't already judging her or anything like that. I was just looking for, certain answers, and she didn't give it to me. So after that, I still was receptive, because you feel like this is what happened to you. And so I was ready to hold your hand and go toe to toe about what you felt, because there's always a slight chance that something isn't what it seems. So I was giving her that. But yes, I would have been more receptive if she was. I still am receptive to this day. But you just can't lie to me, because me being receptive doesn't have anything to do with the fact that it's right or wrong, or it's the truth, or it's a lie. Because I'm still going to be receptive. I'm still hearing and receiving what you're saying. I just don't believe it. A true Taurus always know before they know. Facts. It's definitely a no judgment zone here for me. Thank you. Confessions is good for the soul. Honesty is always the best policy. So true. Honesty will really free you. And unless you want to be freed, I don't see... Unless you don't want to be freed, then continue to lie. You doing 12 to 4?
Mm-mm.
What is it?
Change the date to Monday. I'm not going to be on.
She definitely resents you for whatever reason. That reason being is my father. How he treats me now how he treats me now that he's met me, confirms how I feel Bear, you done with the light?
Hey, you need it or no? Huh?
No.
Do you need it?
You can turn that one. I feel like how he treats me now lets me know everything I needed to know how he treated me. If it aligns, I believe him. Hey, why you want to? So turn the light off.
Oh, you don't want to walk out of here.
No, the light is why I took Snow out of there.
I know that. It's still light on there.
Not this one. Not hanging above him. So definitely how he treats me now, I feel like is also, it aligns with how he was treating me as a child. Sorry guys. I had to put the fat boy. She woke his ass up. It's a very true thing, guys. Like, yes, you saying your mother resents you because of your father. It's a real thing, and I don't think that people understand that. There is a such thing as, I don't know why he doesn't get in his little rock. There is a such thing as a mother resenting her child for other reasons that the child has nothing to do with. Like, and I truly feel that resentment, she had resentment towards my father. If you all paid attention to the paperwork, right, that I had read, in that paperwork of her interview, she states that, first of all, lied about her age, 22, 20, no, she didn't lie about her age, she lied about his age, 24 and 22. He wasn't 22. I have a lot of questions too. I have a lot of questions as to, for one, why did they say, and I think I got the answer. Why did they say that my father's his parental rights were terminated? That's what pissed me off, because for one, if my father's rights were not terminated, and they were not legally terminated, y'all said that they were terminated. They weren't legally terminated. I think that we need to hold women accountable for the way that they treat their children and the lies that they tell in the courtroom that keep fathers away from their children, for sure. Even if my father could have been a different person back then and he wasn't the best parent or role model for me, I don't care, because can't nobody tell me what he was back then or what he was going to be back then. Women need to be held accountable for their lies and their slander. So because she put that my father didn't want nothing to do with me, which was a lie, they said that they were terminating his rights. I also spoke to my dad, and my dad was young. That's the thing. When you get manipulated by older women, this is a real thing. I protect my son at all costs. I protect him. I teach him about females. The same way that I was molested by a female who was older than me and in my family, is the same way it should be looked at about a boy being molested by an older woman. It should be looked, but see, don't nobody look at it like that. You give the boy brownie points, but he's really, indeed, he actually has suffered traumatically, mentally. Anybody who has been, any boy who has unknowingly or unwantingly been touched by an older woman, and then she's manipulated him or used him in abuse, it's an abuse. So in my story, with those paperwork saying that he had lost his parental rights were revoked, or whatever the case may be, that shit's a lie. And had they known about my father in the correct light, or even given, and this is the 80s, so they don't give a damn whether there's a black man in the household or not. This agency just wanted to get me up. I was in the newspaper for being the first black baby to be adopted in Allentown. So I know that y'all just wanted to get a baby and you wanted to adopt it so you could be known as a head adoption agency. I know that. That's what you tried to do. And you didn't give a fuck whether or not I was with my real family or not. But had my father been notified that this is what she wanted to do, he would have taken me. I believe that. I believe that. I know I'm not even trusting a man, but my father's raw emotion when I talk to him lets me know that what he's been saying, and I've watched my father. I haven't had a relationship with my father for a while because of my distrust to men, not because he doesn't want to talk to me. He's been reaching out to me since he met me. He's always tried. And I stayed away because I just have a distrust for men. But my father has always been there to look out for me or reach out to me and want to be there. So in that paperwork of it saying that his parental rights were terminated, I have a problem with that. Yes, they married. That's what I said in the video. They married the next year, but my father was under the I think it was another manipulation tactic, because what I did not say was, and I was going to wait. I'm trying to wait until I give y'all the part 3, but I'm still going to say this because these still tie into part 2. He was sent, this is out of my father's mouth. I have not confirmed it, but I believe him. But he said that Tracy sent him a picture of a casket. He was in New York. She told him, I died of SIDS. And she sent him a casket. And when he asked a couple months later, I think he has PTSD from the war. So he texted her and asked her, he wanted to get a tattoo of my death date. Well, my birth date, but of my death. But more so my birth date. So he was a little unsure of the year. So it had to be a couple of years later or something like that he wanted to get a tattoo. He was unsure, and he called her and he asked, what's our baby girl's, birthday? I know it's April 28th, but I'm confused about the year. Again, he has PTSD. She told him 1986. For me, I feel like you did that so that you can throw him off of the tracks. Because if he went to go look for a death certificate or something like that, it would just not show up. Let me get y'all questions. I got that from the video with the documents. How she stated he didn't want anything to do with her or you. Yes. Was Tracy and Eric married? Yes. So Eric was underage when he was with Tracy? Yes. So when they first started, I don't know if I had elaborated on it. When they first started at it, my father was 15. Yeah. My father was 15. So 6 years older. My father has said he thinks it's 5 years older, but I told him it's not. 6 years older. So even if he would say 5 years older, 15 and 20, but really 15 and 21. Women do things like that. I know a lady who told her husband she was pregnant, got her daughter sonograms and shielded him, and said she lost the baby. He eventually found out and divorced her. Hey, beautiful. Oh, hi. You're welcome. I gotta see that. The case in Chicago with the missing sisters. I'm gonna go look for that. So, does he have other children by her? Yes. All of my siblings, we have the same mother and same father. Yes. Very much so. This is what kills me, y'all. This is why I asked my father. I said, how did you marry her? Why did you marry her? And I think this is the abuse part of being so young. His mother tried to stop her from coming around. He married her the next year, which is why I feel like now I got rid of the baby that you loved so much, because I felt like she was going to be the princess in your eyes. Nobody else had that treatment. So he gives, a story that he's had consistently for 2 years. He says what has happened. He told me when he first met me, you came home. And I'm not believing him. I'm like, you have PTSD. You have PTSD. You don't remember things clearly. I think you might be mistaking me for one of my other siblings. But no, he was right this whole entire time. For 2 years, this man has been saying the same fucking story over and over and over again. He was right. And and this is why I hadn't said anything or came out about anything, because I had to do my research. So I was researching. In my head, I didn't go to a foster care. So I'm like, I had to have gone to a foster care. I had to research all of this. And so in the paperwork, I had to literally sit there. And that was the first time, y'all saw, and I was going through the paperwork. That was the first time I actually read word for word everything, because I couldn't bring myself to do it, which is why the videos didn't come quick enough, because I just couldn't bring myself to do that. So in that paperwork, I'm losing my train of thought. Shit. What'd I say, y'all? In that paperwork, I lost my fucking train of thought. Shit. Somebody refresh my memory. What was the last thing I was saying? He's consistently said the same story. In that paperwork, I was gone. I was looking for the discharge. So in the paperwork, they had a discharge date of April 30th, right? Okay, cool. There's a discharge of April 30th, but where did I go? Who was I relinquished to? What happened? I could not find this shit because I wasn't really ready to read this shit. And so I read it for y'all. And so I found the paper that said relinquished. What was it called? What was the specific wording, guys? Relinquished July 1988. I was relinquished. Voluntary relinquishment, July 1988. Which means she came back to that agency and gave me up 3 months later. And that is about the time that my father got the phone call that I had SIDS. She said that he wasn't answering the phone. They had a big blowout. She wanted to know why he was sleeping on the couch and feeding me. I mean, not sleeping on the couch. He was in the bed and he was feeding me and waking up with me. And so I don't want to hear nothing that she has to say. I don't want to hear nothing that she has to say. I will let everybody believe what they want to believe, but I'm not going to. I don't look at anything. I don't hear anything. I don't watch anything that pertains to anybody outside of Tracy, Eric, or me. It has nothing to do with anybody else. The opinion of children that were not around or don't have any paperwork to prove me wrong. I don't have nothing to say to them. So I really don't care. They don't need to pick a side. They can stay on that. My bad, y'all. I don't need any side picking. I'm going to relieve my emotion and everything that I need to relieve, and I'm going to leave it there. I'm not going to pick up anything that anybody else wants to throw that they have nothing to show for. I'm just going to be blatantly honest and clear, y'all. I don't care about what anybody else has to say about what happened to me. Monica, what happened to me? Nobody has anything else to say. I don't care if they sit amongst themselves and talk about it. It has nothing to do with them. I am not speaking negative on anybody. I have literally been sharing facts and receipts, and y'all have seen that. I've literally been sharing receipts, stuff that has been passed on to me that's in the court of Pennsylvania that you can look up documentation wise. You can look it up yourself. If you Google Monica Elizabeth Brittany Robinson, I will pop up. You will see documentation. That's all I can say in that. I don't watch anything that anybody posts, and I support though the influencers that are posting me because I know that they're positive. I don't believe that they're painting a narrative that's negative. They're just interested and they're posting it. So yeah, I give them my props. I let them do what they want to do, how they want to post it, however, but I will not address anybody who's angry about the fact that I'm coming out telling my truth. I have nothing to say. If you don't want to come embrace me after I have spent 2 years of silence, minding my business, drinking my water, and hurting, if you don't want to come embrace me or speak to me about anything, then we don't have nothing to talk about. If it's not positive, we don't have nothing to talk about. This isn't a rebuttal. This isn't for anybody to go against me about. If you want to go against me, we could take it to court. Because if you keep pushing if you keep pushing something that you have nothing, that you know nothing about, right? If you keep pushing, we can take this a whole other way, and I can guarantee we're going to win. Yes, friend, yes. Sure, DM me Forever Jazz. If he says you came home, how was she able to send a pic of a casket that was supposedly you? So my father, sorry y'all, before I went on a tangent, they're not negative. No, I'm not saying anybody that's posting me is negative. That was in pertaining to a response of someone had seen somebody else asking a member of that family how they feel about my story. And so that's just that. Who had asked that question? Was it Victoria? So my father stated that he got into an argument with her that night. And he said that she was, asleep on the couch or whatever. And again, these are depictions from my father that I'm relaying to y'all. I haven't confirmed it because there's always two sides to a story. So therefore, I can't confirm whether that's true or not. I find it really hard to not believe my father, who has consistently kept up the same story for 2 years. He says it over and over and over and over again. Nothing has changed. None of his wording has changed. So he had said that they had got into an argument. The next morning he left and he went to New York. And this is where I got on him about it. And he's very apologetic. Again, he's young. He's very apologetic. He feels so bad that he got up and left. He said, when I left, I wasn't leaving you. I was leaving her. I was leaving the situation. I didn't want to leave you. But you did. And I believe that if you hadn't left, and I believe he was young, and when he said he came to pick her up from the hospital, but he didn't sign that birth certificate. He wasn't thinking about that because he was coming back into town. And so she had let him know that I had the baby. And so he went to pick her up from the hospital. He came home with her, and then they had got into an argument not so many hours after that. And then he left and went to New York. So he didn't want to answer her calls and things like that. And that's where it gets a little hard for me to... I told him, like, Dad, I know you were young. I know you were upset. But I think that if you would have stayed around, that would have, that wouldn't have resulted in me being given up. Like, or even if I was being given up, it would have been hard to do so. Or, you could have gotten me. But I can't fault you for what you did, He was in a relationship. Who would have ever thought that him leaving would have resulted in someone calling him and telling him the baby died, and they actually gave the baby up. You know what I mean? So, that was his story. I always reiterate, the things that I can't prove to y'all, I just give y'all like what it is, what I'm being told. So when someone wants to tell a story in the background, but never wanted to tell me the story, that's when I know you're just doing some damage control. Because I've given every single body included in this whole thing time. 2 years, y'all. 2 years of being quiet. 2 years of waiting patiently for someone to hit my line and just tell me, I love you and I fucked up. 2 years. And then how amazingly, when I come out with my story, now people want to talk. Is that what I'm hearing? Because I don't know. But from the comments, it seems like, okay, now people want to say something. Don't speak on me. Nobody has any business to speak on me. And I know that people want to answer questions and stuff like that. But the same way that I can respectfully decline talking shit about anybody that is even around that situation, you can too. If you have no facts, just decline it. Just decline it. Decline it. You don't have to speak on everything. You don't have to put yourself in a situation at all. Just decline. I decline. Do I or do I not decline certain questions y'all give? And at the same time, do I or do I not respect and protect y'all from being disrespectful to those people? That's all I want to know. Do I or do I not? So at the same time that I can do it is the same time anybody else can do it. But that just shows you character and difference between people. That's it. Yes, hon. As a mother, this story is so hard to hear. Yes, and he is owning up. Thank y'all. Thank y'all for the support. So yeah. But I still got to put out part 3, guys. So y'all going to have to speed it up. Y'all are going to have to tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend. I am making part 3. Part 3 is on the way. But I'm not dropping it until I get 2,000 followers. I'm at 1,011. So I want the algorithm to continue. I want the story to be pushed. I want to continue to heal people. And I want to continue to heal myself. And a lot of me healing myself is also helping me heal other people too. I like to hear different perspectives. I like to hear different stories. I like to hear, I'm no different from anybody else that has gone through a similar situation. And so I look at everybody as a being of wisdom. How did you get through it? And even if somebody comes to me and asks me, well, how did you get through it? We can sit there and we can talk about it. We can speculate, we can fact find, we can do whatever we need to do as long as I can help. And then my goal is to, I'm working on it and I'm trying to figure out like what path that I actually want to go down of helping people. So, whether I need to open up a nonprofit, whether I need to open up a adoption agency. From what I see, adoption has gotten a whole lot better than in the 80s. The 80s was also a child selling era as well. Of course, not only because of drugs, but just because of being poor. So that is something that I also tried to figure out, like many reasons. People have reasons of doing things. So I was also trying to figure out, did you sell me? What was the reason ultimately for what you did, I did all my research that I could do. But like I said, I came out with the receipts. Y'all can, if y'all did see part 2, let me know what questions y'all had that I can clarify. I tried my best to articulate, pretty well. I was still going through the motions too of reading the stuff. Hey. I'm trying to think of some of the questions that I had. Some things that I might have been a little confused on. But I don't think that I had anything other than where I was at for the 3 months. So after the voluntary relinquishment, I was placed in foster care. And so when I was placed in foster care, I was there until the newspaper article that y'all saw. So from July, the finalization of the adoption was September. So from July, I want to stay till September. I have to go back and like read and see if they had that. I don't think that they really said that, but my first day, like my welcome home, which is the one that was in the paper, that was September 11th, 1988. And now that I know that date was the date, that date is so significant now. Like, I wonder if I would have realized that September 11th of 1988, I was placed into my home. And then like years later, September 11th is a national tragedy. And I remember where I was at September 11th when it happened. And I was in 6th grade in school. But I wonder if I would have known that, how I would have felt like spiritually. Hey girl. Thank you. Thank you. So yeah. It's not easy. Social media is not an easy place to be. So y'all do have to understand that. That's why I feel like I'm not going to be so consistent, because it's not a place of consistency for me, because I take care of myself mentally, and I don't know if I can mentally deal with it all the time, but I'm going to keep going and keep trying. Quick question to clarify. Was your adoption open or closed? That's a good question. That's a good question, because that's a question that I was trying to figure out, because in some of the papers, there's no names. It's just like a story. And matter of fact, her name isn't in anything. It just shows the story, and I put things, of course, the facts of it all is because my brother's name is in the story, and then my sister is in the story, but the parents' names are not in the story, just the children. So that's how I could like pinpoint, okay, this isn't like, you know, buffoonery or anything like that, like how this could be like left unended, like open-ended. I believe that it was probably meant to be closed. I just don't know why there's that much information, and that much information was given to my mom. So if you didn't want anybody to find out about me, then I would have done a closed adoption. So if you left that, if you had an open adoption but you said what you said, that's kind of weird. So I don't know if the agency might have done something they weren't supposed to do. I don't put it past them though. Her reaction. Oh, I think that I mentioned it in the video. I know I mentioned it in a comment on YouTube. Her reaction to me was like she saw a ghost. The first time, she wasn't supposed to even be on the phone. And then, so I feel like that was just like a reaction because there's other people on the phone, so I have to act like, you know, I care or something like that. The physical reaction was as if she saw a ghost and was very, very nervous. I'm sorry, y'all. I feel like I'm got something in my braces and it's like making my gum bleed. You're welcome. Thank you. Quana, I wasn't gonna go live, and then I tried to go live. On YouTube, and it didn't work. I gotta wait 24 hours. So I decided to just come on here and, you know, get you guys really quick, because y'all not about to have me all night. But yeah. I don't know, Quana, you might have missed a little something. I would love a whole story time on when she found out about you again. When she found out about me? Elaborate. Like, what do you mean? You're welcome. What do you mean by you when she found out about you? See, I kind of don't want to go too much into the beginning because it involves other people, and I really don't want to involve anybody else in the story. Like when she was told you want to meet, or that the siblings know you exist. See, I don't know about that because I didn't orchestrate it. That's why I said I can't really speak on it. I didn't orchestrate it. So I can't tell you like what was the reaction because I never spoke to her first. So everybody else spoke to her. In the clip, if you go back to the first video that I did, That's her that's speaking in the beginning. I don't know if I included that because I got a bunch of clips of her on the first day of us meeting and going and talking to each other. That's why I say I felt like very nervous. She was very nervous and didn't know what to say or didn't know how really to talk to me. So I don't hold that story as to what was said, how it was said, what the reaction was. I don't hold that story. I'm not speaking on them. Yeah, so in that clip, that's her. And I believe it was said like, I wish that I was allowed to know. I forgot what was said. Don't quote me. But just saying that I wish that I think what basically she was trying to say is I wish I had control over this. She wanted to do everything in private. She wanted to talk to me. She wanted to find out about me by herself. She didn't want nobody included so that she can feel a certain type of way and you know what I mean? In private. You know? I feel like she wanted to talk to me in private while nobody knew about me. Did y'all share any hugs, tears, any type of emotion came from her at any point? I'm trying to remember why she cried. And I think the crying was anger of being found out. Like me being found out or something like that. When we first met, like when we first started talking, no, there was no tears, nothing, none of that. Very standoffish. We actually shared the same traits. So she didn't know if I was going to, what I was here for. Let me put it like that. I ain't mention it like that. She didn't know what I was here for, as if I popped up and I wanted something from her or the family or something like that. And I made it very clear. I have survived on this earth 33 years. That was at that time. I'm 35. I've survived on this earth in the streets, raising my children and growing and elevating for 33 years. Never looked for you. Never asked for a dime, a handout or anything from anybody. So I would never come to you, the person that I know answers about. It's just not in my nature to ask for things. So I would not come to you in hopes of getting anything from you monetarily wise or none of that. So she came in the car and said she had brought a weapon and I had my own weapon, because I too did not know at the beginning, like I didn't know what could come out of this. This is when somebody gets exposed in the world that we live in, there is a chance that because of that exposure, somebody will try to take somebody out. And so I did bring me a weapon too. And we laughed about it for a little bit, but at the same time, that's the reality of this world. Why she would think that I would take her out, I could understand it, I guess, because in your mind, you're thinking that I'm angry. But why would you think that I'm angry? And that's because the narrative was controlled by somebody else. That's all I can say. The narrative The script, it was just controlled by somebody else. So I didn't have the first moment with her. I didn't get to talk to her first. I didn't get to, discuss anything with her first. There were lots of mouths before her and I even had a talk. That was behind closed doors. T. Hey, T. Okay, so I remember you going live once and she was in the background sitting on the bed and she just seemed so standoffish and definitely didn't seem happy that you were found. I felt something was off with her. Yeah, I was on live and I believe you might have said something at that time and a bunch of other people felt that. They felt that. They felt that in that live and they expressed it back then, and that was years ago, that they said that this don't seem right. She don't seem right. She's not happy that you're around. She's just not acting as how she normally acts. And like I always say, y'all seen more because I just came around. So, people saw lives and things like that and got to know people before I did, Thank you, the Healing Juice Box. Yes, I'm okay. The rest is going to be on YouTube, part 3. Yeah, so that's the thing though. See, y'all know, y'all felt that. Y'all felt that. And I just don't know. I don't understand. I just could not do that to my child, If I had a chance, and I've had several chances to right any of my wrongs, I truly believe that things are passed down. And even if we don't want it passed down, it happens genetically. And so I've had a hard time. I had a hard time once my daughter got over a certain age. There was a disconnect. I was going through so much in my life, but I knew that this disconnect, I had to get rid of it. And I have fought. I don't know the correct expression. I have fought vigorously to never let my relationship with my daughter ever dwindle. It's hard for me, but it's weird because the relationship with my son, and this is me being transparent, I don't really talk about things like this, but now that I've overcome the humps and the hurdles, and I've acknowledged where I've fallen short, I now can speak on it. And so it's been a disconnect with my daughter, and I never understood why I couldn't physically show her as much love as I did my son. With my son, I can always give him love. I'm always my baby. But something with the mothers and their daughters where they force them to be older, or they expect them to know so much even if you haven't taught them. My bad, y'all. That when they do things, you get upset. And so I made myself interact with my daughter way more, get in her ass way more, stay on her way more, love her way harder, because I refuse to have her feeling like I don't love her, or that I'm treating any of my other kids better than her. I refuse to do that. So I will never understand anything that this woman has done to me. And I've had chances to right my wrongs. Each time that I've grown and elevated into a better woman, I have grown and elevated into a better mother. And so my childhood traumas, I didn't want to take that out on my children. So as I've grown, I've kept my kids in the loop about how I feel and where I'm feeling and why I feel like this and why I'm doing this. I give my kids platforms to speak and tell me about myself. Something that our generation could not do with the older generation. My kids have a platform. So my daughter will be like, "Ma, you're tripping. You do too much. How come whenever you get off," and these are examples, like, how come whenever you have a bad day, it's taken out on me? Say no more. Fix that. I'm going to fix that. You right. You don't deserve that. Even though you might have done one thing wrong, my long and stressful day had nothing to do with you. And even though you knew better than to leave your dishes in the sink, the magnitude of leaving your dishes in the sink was not that great. It was only that great because I had a bad day. I don't take shit out on my kids anymore. No matter how much I'm tired, no matter how much, I'm going to stay awake, stay aware, and be there to protect them at all costs. So I will never, ever, this is where I draw the line in the generational curses, I will never be her. I could never be her. You had 33 years to sit on your mistake and your decisions. And when you were faced with that fucking mistake that you made, because it's a mistake, you shouldn't have did it. After you had 33 years to sit on that shit and you chose to lie about it to my face, and still I gave you grace. Still I gave you time. Still, I waited 2 more years for you to get some shit. Maybe you needed an additional 2 years. Maybe if I was silent and I let you come to me, it will work. But for those 2 years, I was hurting. For those 2 years, you really said, fuck me. For those 2 years, you said, I'm going to stick with the children that I've been raising this whole entire time. And so now I'm dropping the hurt. How I want to do it. I didn't have the intent to even go live about this shit. But guess what? It makes me feel better to hear that I'm not the only one. It makes me feel better that I have 1,000 new fucking friends. It makes me feel better that I'm not protecting you despite the fact that you didn't want to protect me, and still to this day you don't want to protect me. But the dad that ain't shit, right? Because that's what you tell everybody. The dad that ain't shit is sitting here to this day, texting me every single day for 2 years. Even when I blocked his ass because I just didn't like how he was talking about you or my siblings, because I just wanted him to treat me with love. That same father has been trying for 2 fucking years. It's his reaction that lets me know what his intent was from day one. I want you by my side. I want to protect you. I am so fucking sorry I didn't protect you. I'm so fucking sorry I was not there when you were molested. I'm so fucking sorry that I wasn't there to protect you when you got raped. I am so fucking sorry. I'm sorry. This is a man who don't want nothing from me and says, all I want is your love. All I want to do is make it up to you. This is from a man. You did not give me that shit. Not once did you give me that shit. Yes, Miss Kales. You didn't give me that shit. I was angry. Can you imagine carrying this anger and still being a mom and still being a girlfriend and still being present in your fucking job? A stressful ass job. Still being fucking present and still taking my kids to the splash park, taking my kids here and there, back to school shopping, doing all of this, doing all of that. And you wonder why I didn't bring my kids around you? Because I knew who you were. I knew how everybody was. None of them, other than one, met them. That's it. Facts. Facts. Y'all spitting facts. And I see y'all comments. And I've never felt better in these past 2 years. I have never felt better to release this. And that is why I said, when you practice discipline, patience, and love, you winning. You're winning. For 2 years, I've been practicing patience. I've been practicing self-love. I've been practicing new love. I've been practicing a beautiful love. I've been crying it out. I've been in therapy since before then. I knew I couldn't handle it all on my own. And I've had nothing but support, and I want to thank each and every one of you, because y'all have all been a support system. Even when I haven't been around to talk about this, y'all have been a support system. And that's something that a lot of people will never feel. They will never feel. At the same time, if you would just come out with your truth, you'd have the same love and support. Because everybody here just wants to see positivity. That's it. So even though you put me through what you put me through, the whole world just wants you just to acknowledge. That's it. The whole world just wants you to acknowledge that shit. And then whatever you choose to do with your life, you could do with your life. But that's it. And I feel like she could possibly be embraced. But it's a decision that has to be made by another person. I can't force nothing. Y'all, I text. I said, whenever you're ready, I'm not going to bother you. That's the daughter saying this. Me. I'm telling her, texting her after I had texted her and blew up on her because she was starting shit between me and my siblings. And I'm like, what is wrong with you? You don't even want me to have at this point, I feel like you don't even want me to have a relationship with my siblings because you don't want to confront your issues. Wow. So I let loose. Cause even to this day, you're still trying to hurt people. I'm glad that my story can help you. That is the goal. That's the goal. I am the ugly side. I'm the ugly side of adoption. And I'm here to show you guys that you can still live, you can still be you, and we can still be the best person that we can be. I am the ugly side of adoption. Sometimes all we see is the good sides, and it makes us feel even worse. Because all you see is those success stories. There's a lot of non-successful, unsuccessful stories, but maybe you ain't seen them. A lot of y'all probably just have seen the successful stories. A lot of y'all are scared to even step out there. And I'm going to be very honest with you. If you're not ready for the truth, if you're not ready to be hurt, if you're only ready to be happy, you're not ready to embark on that journey. You're not. And I don't want you to think that it's all glitz and glamour. It's not. It's not all glitz and glamour. So if I can be that for y'all to show y'all the ugly side of adoption, I can do that for you. I'm going to continue to show. I'm not going to stop there. I'm going to show you how to build those relationships up. My father he got in a loving way how I felt about his absence, but in a very loving way. And he received it. He received it. And it didn't stop him from not wanting to be a part of my life. So that's what I want to see. I want to see somebody try with me. It's not about you completely being, it's not about you righting your wrongs as fast as you can. Yeah, it is about that, actually. You should be trying to right your wrongs as fast as you can. I should say it's not about you being perfect. It's about you trying. I just want to see that you try, because there's a struggle in trying. And if you are willing to struggle to try to show somebody that you love them, baby, that's all that's needed for me. Because I don't expect you to get that shit 100%. I'm not expecting you to be at 100%. I'm not even at 100%. I'm going to fuck up as your daughter too. And I told my father that. I'm not used to texting a dad. I'm not used to being a phone person. And I have to learn how to do that because we have to build our relationship. So my father, he likes to text me all the time. And I always make sure because our relationship is new, right? Everybody else I have relationships with, they all know me. Oh, Monica don't get back to me until like 3 to 5 business days later, right? Monica doesn't get back to nobody. But for my father, I don't feel like that's acceptable on my part. So even if I'm busy, and I'm always fucking busy, but I make time for those that I love. Even though I'm fucking busy, I will shoot him a text and say, Dad, I'm busy. Dad, I'm not ignoring you. Dad, I see what you said. I'm going to get back to you when I get a chance. That's what I do. It's not about, it doesn't matter. I'm not going to treat him no different than I treat nobody else. I have to treat him different than I treat anybody else, because right now he's heartbroken. And I care about a man's mental. I do. I don't think they're seen enough. And I think it was very unfair that I was taken from my father. Very unfair. T, how's your relationship with your brother, the tattoo artist? I love him. Our relationship is great. My brother's going to let me, one thing about my brother, he's always going to let me be me. Whether he agrees or whether he disagrees, my brother is going to support my mental. Even if this isn't something that he likes, he's still supportive of me. And that's something that's big. The men in my family that I'm close to, my cousin Julian, my brother Mike, my father, the men have shown me so much fucking love, so much support. It's amazing. It's amazing. They're actually men. They're men. Thank you, Cosmic Goddess. Yeah, he's great. And I don't be really caring about females because I don't, like I said, I love females. I love y'all. And I want y'all to be great out here, but let's be 100% honest. It's a lot of females that just come with shit. They just come with shit. And our characters always clash. You really have to find your your people. As a female, you have to find your females, because we don't all mesh. We don't all have the same goals. We don't all have the same character. We don't all have the same tolerance for shit. And so a lot of females, you'll find, they don't run in cliques. They don't run in cliques. The strongest females, they run by themselves, to be honest. I get along more with men. It's just how it go. I don't like all that extra shit. I don't like all that arguing. I don't like all that bickering. I don't like petty shit. I don't like when somebody wants to be petty. I think that's ridiculous. Why are you being petty? You know what I mean? Like, that's the reason why, I'm not all the way there, or have a lot of close female friends. The close female friends that I do have, they have very much masculine energy. They're just like me. So we don't sit up on the phone 24/7. Like, we just check in on each other. And when we get the time, if we can chill with each other, we do. But yeah, thank y'all for the support. That's her biological son. So y'all, I told y'all I keep these lives pretty positive. I draw and set my boundaries. There was nothing negative in this live. I just set my boundaries. And I mean it when I say I can post and get off of social media, and I do it often. I always say I hate Instagram because of the way they used to do. They did me monetarily and stuff like that. So and then them constantly blocking stuff on my page, and I didn't do anything. It's just a bunch of BS behind that. So I just really post and get off of here. I'm not a YouTuber. I don't go on YouTube to look at what people say and what they're not saying. I'm aware, people will bring me, they'll bring me things that have been posted or said, in the most positive lights. And that's cool. But as far as negativity, nobody close to me brings that. If they see it, they leave it exactly where it's at. And they don't notify me about the negativity. So I am aware of all of the positive. I'm aware of who positively posts me on their YouTubes and is doing reactions. I support them. I have nothing against them. I feel like get your money, sis. Get your money how you gotta get it. I'm not a YouTuber, so I don't know the ins and outs. I just know that I give y'all my blessing for those that post the reactions to my lives or post the reactions to my YouTubes. I just ask that we keep it straight about me. I know things gotta be said from clickbait, for clickbait and stuff like that. So I'll be understanding that. I just want everything to be kept respectful, like I don't ask for anybody to go and disrespect anybody. You just have to accept the bigger picture. You have to accept what's going on and treat it as such. Like I don't want anybody going over there and feeling like you have to defend or anything. By all means, if that's what you want to do, okay. But I just want us to, you guys, you and me, we can vibe out. We can talk about things. If you have any questions, I can answer them. But I just want everybody to be respectful and positive on both sides. So that's where I draw my boundaries. Yes, Jazz. I do draw my boundaries. And my boundaries are, if it's not about Tracy, Eric, or Monica, me, because that's my name, I'm never going to take that from my mom. I love my mom, and I'm still very much my mom's child. I just want y'all to live as peaceful as I am, Just live as peaceful as I am. It's very peaceful on this side. It's very peaceful on this side. So any, negative things or responses that can be borderline negative, or if it's not Tracy or me or Eric speaking about this situation, it means nothing to me. It means nothing to me. Now, if anybody wants to get, dig down to the facts or whatever, by all means, you can go right up behind me and you can go get all of that paperwork and stuff like that. Like I said, it's in the court system. I can go request about myself. I don't think anybody can go and request about me, per se. Like, you can't go to the court building and go get some paperwork on me. But anything that I want, original documentation and things like that, I just have to go to Pennsylvania and I have to go to the court. And I can request all documentation on me. I can even request the original birth certificate if I want to. The original birth certificates, that's how adoption works. The original birth certificate is kept in the court system. It's not given to the adoptive parent. The adoptive parent is provided with their own birth certificate. So my birth certificate states my mom and my adoptive dad. I don't fuck with my adoptive dad. I love my mother. We have gotten over our humps. We've talked things out. Somewhat. I'm super protective of her, so I don't really, name anything. Am I gonna what, T? Am I gonna go get the original birth certificate? I don't see if that's the question you asking, I don't see no reason to do it, honestly. Because why? The other original documentation, I have that. I have all the documentation. I have all the court paperwork with me. That was in that second video. So I have original, I want to say, like the original court documentation, I have copies of that original court documentation. Like, when I forgot this, not the transcriber, but the clerk, when the clerk, when the court case is over or things like that, and you get copies of what was just discussed, I have that. I have all of that. What if you're adopted, but your name is never changed as far as the birth certificate? Then that means that your parents chose for you to keep that name. The only thing that they ended up changing is the parents on the birth certificate. So if you're referring to yourself, if your name wasn't changed, your parents didn't want to change the name. Oh, it's tearing her up, baby. It's tearing her up. So the adoptive parent does not the adoptive parent gets an original birth certificate of their name. So when you have had I think, and it also works no matter what the age is. But since I was adopted as an infant, it may have been a whole lot easier. I'm not sure. I'm going to have to compare that to those that are older and get adopted. But adoptive parents, they have an original birth certificate. So basically, those are two original documents. The court is legally going to keep the person that delivered you. They're going to keep that original birth certificate because they're not going to you can't walk around with it. So she can't have access to that. Tracy can't have access to an original document or original birth certificate, but they have to keep it. So they can't let her have it because you relinquished. There's so much behind that. You know what I mean? So if she had a birth certificate, then she could claim that I'm still alive because birth certificates claim that you're still alive. But to her, I'm dead. So maybe that's where she gets it from. Yes. Jazz. Aisha. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. I don't really care. But I haven't looked for it. I wouldn't know. There's nobody to contact me about that, about their feelings. So technically you would have two birth certificates, one original for the birth parents and another original for the adoptive parents. Right. Victoria, you're kind of right. Because my mom, she adopted me as an infant, all that paperwork, all that stuff was changed like immediately. So she has an original birth certificate, not a copy. Like, I guess I see what you're saying in the sense. Maybe I'm saying it wrong. But technically, my mother has an original copy from 1988 of my birth. As if she birthed me. Yes, Jazz. Yes. That was the argument that I had with her. So if you believed me to be dead, right? Here's the thing. She told me out of her own mouth. She left me in the hospital. There was no funeral. And I asked her to reiterate that again. So you're telling me that the baby that you loved died. They told you that I died in the hospital. And you left the hospital without my body. And you didn't notify anybody that you knew you were pregnant or loved me or cared about me. You didn't notify them that I died. Or that you did notify them. You did notify them that I died. You didn't notify them of the funeral. So, and Erica, I'm not ignoring you for real, per se. I'm not speaking on, as I stated before, I'm not speaking on nobody other than Eric, Tracy, or me. So basically, if you really died, she would have had both a birth certificate and a death certificate, right? Correct. If I had died, then and I mean no disrespect, Erica, it's just that this story is only about me, and I'm trying to keep it like that. It's only about me. And the only people that can argue about me is me, Tracy, and Eric. That's it. I don't have relationships with anybody else. Yeah, so y'all, why do I feel like one of my eyebrows is thicker than the other? And my girlfriend did my eyebrows. So now I have to talk because I feel like I have way more expression in this eyebrow than this one. And that's a problem for me. So, yes, if I really died, she would have had a birth certificate and a death certificate, which I asked her for. She could not produce it. Stop, Victoria. It's not funny. She could not produce it. So I said, why don't you have something so important? If you have your social security number, your kid's social security number, your birth certificates, your kids' birth certificates, every mother has this shit. So a death certificate, you don't know where you placed that at. You think it might be in storage somewhere. It still shows that you treat me like trash. I know people that have lost children, right? They lost children and they have memorials in their house. They know exactly where to go about their children, where they're, you know what I'm saying, where their paperwork and stuff is at that they've lost. And you mean to tell me that you don't know where it's at? Stop, y'all, for real. Because why did I have to pay attention to that? It's giving way more. Let me see if I can fix this really quick. Because, like, maybe they just need to be brushed up a little bit. And look, it's still, no, it's still giving one is thicker than the other. And I don't really enjoy that. And I won't get on this live like this again. Trust me when I say, when I get up from this couch, I'm finna go into that room and yeah, you're gonna have to take off some, yeah. It's not giving. And y'all was gonna sit up here and let me, so now I gotta do this so that I can see both of my eyebrows in the same level. I have to squint this one because I'm not, it's, when I'm like this, no. Y'all are wrong for not telling me that. That is trifling. And as a barber, as my girlfriend being my barber, is definitely given. But you know what? I had got my eyebrows waxed first, and then I go to her to do it. And I think I knew she was working on this one way too much. It's good. Y'all won't see me like this again. Trust and believe that. Jazz, you may have answered this, but grandparents, like T's and Eric's parents, deceased. Both sets. Where's the pending lawsuit for the hospitals lying about your death? Somebody should be owning that hospital. Again, something that I said I will hold your hand and do. Let's go after, stop, not they sisters now. Let's go after everybody. If this is what happened, let's go after everybody. My name is finna be on that hospital. We finna get paid and set up for life. You broke, I'm broke. Why not? Let's go. Let's get a lawyer. You don't even gotta pay for the lawyer. I'm gonna get a lawyer, nigga. They gonna pick up on this shit. If we give them our story and they're supporting facts to that shit, a lawyer is going to pick up on that and they gonna say, listen, we gonna get paid. We gonna get paid, so we don't need the money from you up front because this is in fact medical malpractice. Like I stated before, if any infant or somebody dies in the care of anybody in a hospital, so like she said, I went to the nursery, I never came back. They came back without my body and came to you at your bed and stated that your child is no longer living. There is an investigation on every single death, whether y'all believe it or not. Every single death is investigated, has to be investigated, it has to be opened, and it has to be closed with some reason. And everyone that had ever touched me is going to be investigated. So where is that investigation? I can go to the hospital right now and ask for that investigation. There was no investigation because there was no death. Facts. If you made the news about the adoption, you should have made the news about a crooked hospital. Because I'm trying to figure out if it was crooked, there wouldn't, that news coverage would have exposed that shit. Hey King. She make me sick too, baby girl. 2 years I've been sick. I have been healed. 2 years I've been sick. Welcome to the party. So the cause of death was SIDS. So she stated that the cause of death in the hospital was SIDS. Investigation. Even if it was SIDS, investigation. Would have been an investigation. Babies don't go to the nursery and die. They don't just go to the nursery and die. And if they go to the nursery and they die, there is an investigation on what happened to that baby. Especially SIDS. They have to rule it as SIDS. That's what she said. She told my father too. She told my father that I had SIDS at the house. And then she told me that I died of SIDS in the hospital. I have a serious question. I'm not picking fun at all. Is there something wrong? I have no idea. I can neither. Whatever y'all feel, I feel too. And that's all I can say. But I will not spit no lies. None of that. Now, y'all fan favorite, I'm trying to tell you. Y'all fan favorite is going to be my dad. Because this is a New York nigga, y'all. This is a New York nigga, bro. This is why I had to understand that my father and his aggression, you can't, if you ever meet my father, just do not bring up her name. He's not going to stop talking about her. He's going to talk about her like a dog. And I'd be like, Daddy, look. I don't bring her up with my father. I don't. But if you talk to him, he's going to tell it like it is. Thank you, Victoria. The charm one. Yes. And I've said that to her. I gotta make Victoria my moderator. Yes, Erica, they said they saw me coming home. I did come home. Thank you, babe. I hope I get the truth too. So, yeah, he is a character. I can't wait till y'all see him. Like, I can't wait till y'all hear him, how he talks about me, and just how he's raw. He's an acquired taste. My father from Queens, you know what? I never even really, I know he was in Brooklyn. I know he was in Brooklyn for a while. So I don't know. I'm gonna have to get that from him. He already the fave because he apologized and has built a relationship with you. He is second most hurt in the situation. He very much is. He very much is very much hurt. And who said, yeah, Cosmic Goddess? He was groomed. He was groomed. Yeah. His mouth is different. His mouth is different. And he likes to rap. And he good at the rapping. Like, I wish my father knew how to work technology, y'all, so I could bring him up on here, but he don't know how to work technology. I'm gonna get him to get an Instagram. Let me get him to get an Instagram, and we're gonna bring him on live so y'all can see him and vibe with him. Yeah, I'm teaching him patience. I'm teaching him love. I'm teaching him to release. He's already, did a great job on that. He got a beautiful family. All of them kids is his. So let me run this down real quick because I seen this question. I don't know if I answered it all the way because I was getting on my tangents. I gotta be up at 7:00 in the morning, bro. Y'all have got me on this live longer than I expected. Here it goes. Michael, 3 years older than me. Hannah, 1 year older than me. Mia, 1 year younger than me. Darian, 2 years younger than me. That's the lineup. Same mother, same father. I am not going to go into, I would love to go into some more details just about a lot of things, but that involves my siblings, and I'm not going to do that. Just know, Tracy is wild. Tracy is wild. Where'd King go? Is he the only man she been with? Romantically, from my understanding, that's the only one I've heard of that she actually gave it a try. Is that the only man that she has been with? In other words, no. But that, I believe, was her only marriage. So after my death is when they got married and they had Mia. Yeah, that's why the story is a lot. You told, y'all saw the paperwork. You told them people in that interview that you could not financially, I am going to save this live, and King is on here. So when you go to YouTube, if you follow, let me see where she at. If you see official King Day, I hope I'm saying it right. She does reactions to my lives. She posts my lives, stuff like that. What was I saying? Yeah, that's what was so crazy, is because literally, exactly, Cosmic Goddess, exactly. Literally, right after she let me go, there was some type of thought in the head. Let me get married to him. Let's have some more kids. And let me take care of those. That's just what makes the story all even more fucked up. And that's what made me question Dad. Like, what happened? What happened? What do you remember? Y'all all saying the same thing. Y'all go follow. I just pinned Official King Day. That's who you need to go follow on YouTube for my reaction, for her reactions to my lives. I'm sure she will do a reaction to this. I'm sure of it. Sean Honeybee. I said that. Did we address this already? I am named after Tracy's brother. That's all I can say. Now, let's just be real and honest, right? When I first heard this, it was way 2 years ago, right? And so, giving me up, being named after your brother, it's the 80s. There's drugs everywhere. People can do drugs. I'm not saying that she did drugs. I'm saying that there's drugs everywhere in the 80s. I don't know who did them, who didn't do them. I just find it strongly odd, right? And when I'm first hearing this and I'm first meeting you and I'm first feeling your energy of this and that, I'm like, Quana, shut up, bro. Are you That's not what I'm saying, Quana. I would probably be handicapped. I probably would be handicapped if that was the case. But what I'm saying is, right, is that Quana's wild. Is that y'all can laugh. I have a great sense of humor and shit. I don't take everything serious. But no, that's true, because when you're a product of incest. But the thing is, right, how many people in the 80s was getting DNA tests? So if there was a mistake, right? If there was a mistake, how would you know it's a mistake? Do you want to take the initiative to confront that there could possibly be a mistake? Do you want to take that initiative to go get one and say that you need to go get one to the person that you are about to marry? And about that, those were the things that went through my head, y'all. It's not confirmed. It's just things that went through my head, right? That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying, is that it went through my head. And it still goes through my head. It still has went through my head. Yes, babe. Floetic tsunami. Yes. I say the same thing. Beauty Bartender K, you can go on YouTube. It's in my link. You can watch the last 2 videos and it will show you that. And then if you're still watching the live, you could probably piece everything together. I already took a DNA test. That's what Ancestry is for. That's how this whole shindig got started. Y'all know, if y'all watch me, y'all know I love to laugh. I pretty much, if y'all say some stuff, you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna laugh. That was funny. Cause Quana really felt like, that is the truth. Like, nah, retarded, so it couldn't be. No, that's what the Ancestry came up with. When I did Ancestry, did I tell y'all a story from the beginning? When I did Ancestry, I did that to understand my DNA. Right? To understand my DNA. So if y'all go look at the videos, if y'all go look at the videos, y'all will get most of y'all answers. So, is the brother deceased? No, he's not. He's very much alive. That's my cousin Julian's dad. So I always protect everybody. I protect innocent people, right? So I don't go into detail about a lot. Illicit drip. I've said this in my YouTubes as well. That's not the truth. It's not the truth. It's not the truth. I showed in that first YouTube video, because I know a lot of y'all skipped that first YouTube video. I said in that first YouTube video how everything got started. If y'all take a look at the text messages in that first video, that's a text thread of questions being asked. I already had done all the hard work. So no, that's not how it went. My papa is a Rolling Stone, okay? I got other siblings. I got lots of half siblings. He's a fucking Rolling Stone. He's a fucking Rolling Stone. And I have been in contact with most of I didn't post it on my page, but it was in my live. Not in my live, it was in my stories. I posted my brother. No, I'm not. I actually opened my Gap. This was an opener. I love my Gap, so I had it reopened because my mom closed it. So it's there. And it's actually bigger. And then what I'm going to get is these are getting removed in about a couple of weeks. And I'm going to get a gold bar in my Gap. Okay, what was the other question? Ancestry flipping more tables than a game of spades, my lord. When I tell you Ancestry flipped it. When I tell you Ancestry took that white chair from the Sweet Tea Alabama party, the Alabama Sweet Tea party, it took that white chair and beat the shit out of people. That's what it did. That is what Ancestry did. Ancestry is a depiction of the Sweet Tea Alabama party. Because Ancestry had no business whatsoever to unleash what it did. I went to Ancestry just to figure out about what was in my DNA to know what my kids. So when my kids go to the doctor, they can say what runs in my family. That's what I did that for. That's what I did it for. In the midst of that, right? It asks you, hey, do you want to send out your information just so that people that are in your family can reach out to you? I said yes. Why not? I'm not expecting to find anything, right? No. Just like that white boy came and punched that black man who just told him to move his boat, just like that is exactly how Ancestry hit me. Ancestry hit me like that white man hit that black man. I'm the black man. So I just had to roll with it, right? Just had to roll with it. So I threw my hat up in the air. I called for all of y'all to come out of y'all hiding. All of everybody to come out of their hiding. I called for it because now I got to go for blood. So I saw somebody on there, right? Came out of nowhere like the rest of the black folk. there was a girl on there. She indeed, in fact, is my cousin. She's my cousin. She's one of my first cousins. But I thought Ancestry was lying to me. I was like, ain't no fucking way. This girl looked like me. I thought she was my sister. So I just happened to see her. I just happened to see her. And so I reached out to her and I was like, now this says that you're my first cousin, but you look like me. Are you sure that you are not mine? Like, you're not my sister? She said, I don't think I'm your sister. I said, well, bitch, who are you then? Because it's giving same face. So what you about to, there ain't no way we first cousins, bro. That is my first cousin. That is, when I tell you that, like y'all said, Ancestry opened up a whole nother door. Ancestry opened up a door on her motherfucking brother. And that's how shit got started. That door opened up with her motherfucking brother. It was so many. Then my dad's brother reached out to me over and over and over and over again. I have a problem with men, y'all. So I'm at this point, there's a 50, 60-year-old man to keep fucking writing me. And my profile pic is a sexy fucking picture because they took it from whatever the fuck, from Instagram or something. So it's a sexy picture. I'm clothed, but I'm looking real pretty. So I'm just like, I'm not answering this. That was my dad's brother. He was scared that I was his daughter. So this man is going for blood at me. Excuse me. It says that we are a match. Can you please let me know who you are? I'm steady ignoring the joy. It's like, nigga, leave me alone. Nigga, like, what? So finally, after 3 months of ignoring my uncle's messages, right? And after Kia, it just, Ancestry just opened up all of this shit. Kia says, you could belong to my dad. That is Tracy's brother. Kia was on Ancestry as she went and looked for her DNA and it populated me. So that is who I was talking to on Ancestry. Kia did all of the work and she is now in hiding because she is so scared, and they must have came down on her like that chair came down on that white man, because Kia don't even want to be mentioned or nothing. That's my cousin. That is Tracy's brother's daughter, who he doesn't claim. Anyway, we're not going to get off topic. Just know that apples don't fall too far from the tree. So I'm not giving up all this information to y'all. Y'all gonna have to go see and go on YouTube. Now she in witness protection. But yeah, not that she on witness protection. I'm going to post this live on TikTok. What's it called for y'all? And y'all want, okay, so y'all giving me ideas. Okay. So it didn't tell me who my parents are. Kia figured it out. And she's the one that got in connection with everybody else on that side and said, hey, there is a girl. It is a Tubi movie. And I need for them to pick up this movie. Tubi, holla at me. But please, let's get some good actresses and actors, because I'm not. So, yes. So, what was I saying? So, yes, she put all the pieces together. She's the real MVP. She's the MVP. Okay? She's the MVP. She put that shit together. She did. When I tell y'all, she is nowhere to be found. She is nowhere to be found. Her name is Bennett, and she is no longer in it. And I'm going to leave the old girl alone, because I told y'all, it can get scary. When you reveal other people's secrets, when you reveal that shit and you ain't mean to, and she was already scared, People don't want to be in the mix of that. It can get very dangerous. It can get very dangerous. So I tell y'all that if y'all are wanting to go find out about your family, you have got to be prepared. Okay? You've got to be prepared. It's no way that you can't be prepared. I did not intentionally, and I'm going to say this all the time, I did not intentionally give my DNA results to find my family. I intentionally wanted to know my genetic makeup. And if y'all saw me when I did Ancestry, for those that were following me a long time ago, they know the story. Because I was up here like, y'all, this is what I am. I'm 36% Nigerian. I got Spanish in me. I told y'all I am this, I am that. I'm Cameroonian. I'm Mali. I'm from here. I got a little island. I am part Irish. I was just going off on live. That's all I had cared about. That's all I had cared about. I just wanted to know where I came from. Not who I came from. Where I came from. The land that I came from. That's it. Nobody had ever told me that they were actively looking for me, because in them text messages, go back to the emails if y'all happen to see, if it shows up in those text messages, there was nothing mentioned about there was anybody looking for me, because everybody thought I was dead. It doesn't even add up. It doesn't even add up. Why were you looking for a dead baby? Y'all don't want it. You don't want it. I'm telling you, you don't want it. But don't stop your blessings, though. If you feel as though that you might, don't let my story stop you from finding out. Don't do that. Definitely go ahead and take a look. Just remember my story. Just remember my story. Just remember that there is a plus and a minus to everything. It's equal energies. It has to be balanced. There's going to be equal negative, and there's going to be an equal positive part. I already cleared it up for y'all, what the story was. That's it. I'm not going to repeat the beginning of that story. Y'all can go back onto YouTube, because I want to post this on YouTube. Y'all can go back to YouTube and do it over. See, that's the thing that I be telling y'all about clickbait. Clickbait. Y'all got to remember, things is clickbait. Doesn't mean that that's exactly what happened or that's the story. So y'all got to remember about clickbait on YouTube and things like that. I ain't going over it again. I got all that proof. Y'all chill. 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 So yeah, y'all finna keep me up, and no, y'all not. I know you do. I know you do. I just gotta explain the process. I gotta explain the process to those that don't understand. You know, like, it's something called clickbait, and I don't care, because Official King Day, the clickbait, once you click into that, there's facts in there and the positivity in there. So I ain't even tripping. As long as there ain't no lies in there, I ain't tripping. If the clickbait is all the way wrong, oh well. I mean, then maybe I might say something. But like I said, yeah, y'all. I cannot see my comments for some reason. So, I'm going to say this one time more. I am not speaking about anybody other than Tracy, Eric, and Monica. If y'all have any stories or narratives from 3 years ago and y'all feel like y'all saw enough to come to your own conclusions about whatever happened 3 years ago, I want you to stand on it. But I don't want you to bring it to me, because I was not a public person. And because I was not a public person does not mean I was not around for some things. Okay? So if you want to stand on whatever you feel, you can. I'm going to stand on what I feel, and we're going to leave it at that. I don't owe anything. I don't owe anything. And I stand on that. I don't owe anything. Okay? And I'm not here to bring up things from 3 years ago to make people that have gotten their peace. They've gotten their peace and they're being very peaceful. I'm not going to shake them up because of a story that I have for me. Because it's about the adoption, right? We're here about my adoption. If you hear, you will hear about my adoption, right? So if you hear about my adoption, you keep it to my adoption. I will not slander anybody else. I will not apologize for things that were 3 years ago, because I don't have the capability to go back and say things. Okay? This is not that type of party. You're not going to get any answers from me about what happened with somebody else's life. You're not. You're not. If you're looking for that, you went to the wrong page. If you would like the answers to any of those questions about other people, please feel free to go to them, ask them questions, and have them clarify for you. Over here, we keep it respectful, we keep it positive, and understand that there is something called reality versus internet. So what you saw on the internet was very distorted from reality. And I do not wish to tell my side of reality from 3 years ago, because we're focused on, right? My adoption, my hurt, my pain. That's it. That's it. That's all we're focused on. We're focused on making a difference in other people's lives who have gone through the same things as me. Somebody else's relationship, I don't care about it. Okay? I don't care about it. I don't. If I was not in the bed fucking in no relationships, I don't have nothing to speak on. And there's no need for apologies, because I'm just saying this in general. You are not the only one that has brought it up. You're not. I'm just speaking in general for everybody that's coming in. This is about Monica. You can call me, y'all know me as Ricky, but my name is Monica. Okay? And that's what I respect about Official King Day. I respect about Nick and Carla, that I know that the intent is positive by the way that I've been told how the story has come. So things like seeing my name as Monica and not Ricky, it lets me know where the intent is. It lets me know that somebody is listening, that they hear me. What Keisha say? Let me go. What did Keisha, who said what? I don't think you was trying to be disrespectful. I think you was just trying to get an answer. It's not just about you. It's about the others that came before you that was saying things. That's it. And it's a positive space over here, so it's okay. Quana, what's the layman's terms? Who the hell is Keisha? What are y'all saying? Did I miss the joke? Yes. So yes, y'all. Yes. Any last remarks? I'm not even tired. That's weird. Are y'all calling me Keisha? Do I look like Keisha from Belly? Is that what y'all trying to say? Mm-mm. She was pretty though. Oh yeah. And that's on Unc in the folding chair. And that's on the folding chair. That's on the white folding chair, okay? Please don't let me bring the folding chair out because I don't want to have to do that. I really don't. That's what we're about over here. We're about healing and breaking generational curses. Y'all know me. Like, we can get into the relationship talks. We can get into things that's deep. Outside of the adoption, we can get into those things. Let me tell you something, because all of those things are bred in each person that has a part in your life. So I know, right? I can give my father so much grace because I know that he was groomed. I know that where your trauma starts is also where your trauma, that at that age that your trauma has started, is also a place where you actually stop mentally. So mentally, I think that with being 15 years old, with being 15 years old and having to go through some things that I feel like were more adult-like and not having developed mentally fully, I feel like my father for a long time was a child. I think that my father now at the age of 60, how old is my dad? No, he's not 60. 15. How old is my dad? However old my dad is, right? I give him grace because the person that he is now and the age that he is now is where my father has grown. And so understanding trauma, right? You never address. So if your trauma, yeah, he's 53. Yes, he's 53. Or 54, because they're 6 years apart. 53. Yeah, 53. So when trauma starts at a young age, sometimes you get stuck there or you're forced to grow up. And probably for my father, he was forced to grow up, but mentally he stayed young. And so you have to remember that about people. It's hard understanding when we're out here dating and things like that. You got to understand that there are children walking this earth with an adult age and an adult body. Not everybody has the comprehension to understand that they're still at a childish stage in their life. Okay? So there are a lot of adults that are out here walking around in adult suits. That does not mean just because I am 35, I have the mind of a 35-year-old. I'm going to tell you, I'm 35, but I have the wisdom of an older person. I would like to say a 70, 80-year-old who has already gone through a bunch of mistakes. That's my wisdom. There are 35-year-olds, and this is why when women deal with men, why we say that there's such an age gap. That is because men progress way slower. So at the age of 35, a man being 35, right? He is still in the mindset of a 20-year-old. There are 60-year-olds that are still in the mindset of a 20-year-old. Age ain't shit but a motherfucking number. True. Some parents don't get parenting right with their children, but get it right with their grandchildren. And I appreciate that. Hold on. Sorry. I appreciate that. I told my adoptive dad, you ain't get it right with me, but get it right with your grandchildren. I would never stop my kids from having a relationship because I don't have a relationship with that person unless you and I don't fuck with each other. My biological father did not, not my biological father, my adopted father did never get it right. So one thing I don't play is somebody being in and out of my children's life. The first time that you take that step out of their life, you might as well stay there. Stay there. You won't be stepping back and forth into my children's life at all because I never allowed it in my own life. That's it and that's all. I have abandonment issues. I didn't see that until now. So my abandonment issues caused me to attach to people very quickly that showed me any ounce of care, even when it could have been manipulation. That's what abandonment issues can do to you. So I will not allow any type of abandonment issues to be placed on my children, especially when they have never been abandoned by their mother nor their father. My kids have both parents grew up in a 2-parent household, still grow up in it's not a 2-parent household, but now it's a blended family. I get along with baby mothers and all of that. I have no problems, and we all raise the children. I have 2 that were by marriage, and then I have 2 that came from another relationship. You can't tell me they're anything different from the kids that I have that I vaginally pushed out. They're not, because we're gonna get this shit straight, and we're gonna get this shit straight for the children. That's it, and that's all. So the first sign of disloyalty to me, the first sign of abandonment, that you're going to abandon me, I am gone. And yet and still, I still gave one person grace to come in and out, in and out, in and out. I still allowed a door open for that person. And that door is still open no matter how much that person is disgusting to me. That door is still open for you to decide to do the right thing, because that's all I want you to do. Before you leave this earth, I want you to do the right thing. I want you to have peace. But it looks like you're choosing to go to the grave with your shit. And if that's your decision, so be it. I can't stop what somebody else is going to do. Yes. Yes, King. We all have to learn grace. I am not saying allow anybody to step on you. You only allow grace where you see somebody is trying. You do not allow grace for bullshit. You allow grace when you see somebody on their hands and knees trying to be a better person, and really all they need is guidance. And if you can offer them that guidance, then you give them the grace. For those that are not trying, grace is very, very slim. Your door is going to get shut. Give him another chance. Give him another chance. Give him another chance. Give him another chance. If he's trying, give him another chance. Is somebody going to fuck up? Yeah, they are. That's a part of the process, because how the fuck did you get to where you at without fucking falling? Not only if somebody was there to help you get up, right? Imagine where we would be if we had people sitting there ready to help us. How many times can we really say that we had people that were willing to help us in some of our greatest downfalls? I'm sitting here struggling with abandonment. I'm sitting here wanting to be seen, and I'm getting with people that needed me more than I needed them, which also caused me some pain. Because I'm here building you up, building you up, building you up. But in the midst of that, I need help with myself. We got to get there. We have to get there. We all have to get to our place somehow. So if I'm that person that has my hand out to y'all to help you get there, if these lives are helping you realize that there is more to things than what meets the eye, right? Let's do that. Let's do that together, because in this society and with our skin color, help is very slim. Unblock that man. And if that man asks for money, you got a boundary for that shit. Listen, I just posted this shit. You can walk out of a room that makes you feel uncomfortable, but you got to take a look at yourself and ask why you're uncomfortable. Don't walk out a room that's uncomfortable because it challenges you. See, sometimes the things that we're trying to shut, right? The things that we are trying to block out are the very things that are designed to help us. Right? Right? Sometimes it's not about you. Your dad may need you. Your dad may need you before he leaves this earth, and you gonna cry your eyes out that if he leaves this earth and you helped him and you didn't turn your back on him, the blessings that will come your way. That's all I'm saying. I know your heart can't take it no more. My heart could not take another motherfucking thing. Another motherfucking thing. Divorce. After divorce, I find this family. After I find this family, I find secrets. After I find secrets, I find doors closing. Stop. Why I love